Well, good morning, Professor. Actually, I'm going to have to introduce myself to a new company. I've been with this company for 4 years, going on the fourth year, but I'm in a new part of the country. I was doing satellite work down in Georgia, and they now have me in the Northwest. So it's a new area of the company, and they have no idea who I am. So I'm actually going to go back in and introduce myself starting on Monday. So this is good that we're doing this. I get to practice. So my introductory speech to the crew will be as follows. Good morning. Last week, as you all know, we had the safety week down in Napa at the corporate office, where I met a man that I recognized from EHW. He had recently joined me on the job that I'm at now up here in the Northwest. He'd come up to work and do some work in the sub barn. I had no idea who he was, but turns out that he was with Nova, and turns out that I had upset him because I was rather rude and belligerent when he was requesting PPE. He didn't he didn't make me aware of the fact that he was with Nova. I know I've bought a budget of PPE for the LWI project, which was the project I was contracted to be assigned to when I got here. So I've got it pretty much stockpiled in my office. I don't have very much room in my office because of all the PPE. And so I keep pretty tight control on it. EHW personnel have been sneaking in and grabbing it, so I'm pretty tight with it. So for this guy to come out at me and just order me to give him this, and this, and I guess I wasn't real friendly. I gave it to him. I'm a safety manager, and he needs PPE, so I wasn't going to stop him from doing his job. But I heard about it from my boss. Excuse me. So I guess I wanted to maybe open up the discussion this morning and the conversation this morning, and just start this safety week with the new crew here at the table and introduce myself. I'm not going to go back 20 years. I'm not going to go back to the beginning of time. But I will let you know what I did before Cole found me and hired me to work with Nova and you guys. I was a third-party independent contractor. What that means is sometimes companies don't maintain a safety professional on payroll all the time. Either their contracts don't require it, or they don't have enough work throughout the year. So when they need a safety professional, they call a company who stables, basically, a set of people with the right credentials, and they get calls from these companies that say, okay, I need somebody for this kind of a job. Do you have anybody? And they'll shoot us out. So we would go out there for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever the job takes. I did that for 10, 12 years. It's one of the reasons the wife and I travel in an RV. We go from job to job. The good thing about that is I'm credentialed in a lot of different industries. I can work pipeline, I can work refineries, I can work demolition, I can work industrial, commercial. I've worked for Corps of Engineers many, many times. Some are new jobs, like this NAVFAC, working for the Navy is a new job, so there's a little learning curve there. But my credentials and my resume, because it's so diverse, allows me to charge a little bit more during my 10 years, 12 years. It wasn't unheard of that I could request a $45, $50 an hour and, get it, plus the perks and the bonuses and the per diem, and that was just from the company, the third-party company that I was stabled with. They would in turn add their burden rate to the company that was hiring me. So the company that was hiring me may have an hourly rate of $75 an hour. Well, for that kind of money, they would demand a return on investment immediately. So I didn't have a chance to come in and with niceties and friendliness, and I didn't have a chance to integrate into the system. A lot of times I would have to come in and deal with subcontractors that had never been aware of safety, or had been aware of it but had never been required to observe it. We all know how heartwarming safety is to most contractors. So a lot of times I would have to super wolf. I would have to out yell, outmaneuver. I would have to I don't know the word. I was never polished. Okay, I'm brusque. I'm brunt. I have a directness to my speaking. I don't sugarcoat things. You know where I'm coming from when we talk, and I expect that in return. It makes life so much simpler. Excuse me. So, what I would like to do at this time is just put out there a blanket apology to anybody up here in this office or anybody I have to deal with. If I come off rough, or if I come off rude, or not professional, it's something that I've picked up over the years by having to provide a service to people that pay me for that service. I get my job done. I like my job. I think being in the safety field, I'm fighting the good fight. I know for a fact that I have saved people from amputation. I like to think that I have been very instrumental in saving lives over the course of my 20 years. That's not to say that I have not been on projects that didn't have fatalities. I've been associated with 2. Those people that did die were on somebody else's watch. They were on the other side of the plant. They were on another different shift. They were not under my care. They were not under my responsibility. Anybody under my watch, I have not had any fatality. So that's why I like to keep it. So that's a little bit about me. I don't, if we're talking, if we're having a discussion, if we're communicating, and if I offend you, it's not personal, and stop me. It's a professional. How can I say it? It's a professional defect that I've acquired. I like to think at my age I'm toning down, and I can, I'll apologize straight up. Just say, hey, I don't like the way you're talking to me, and I'll appreciate that, and we'll get along fine. I'll apologize. So I'm not short for a reason. I'm whatever. Anyway, we got Safety Week coming up this week. We're going to have some fun. You guys enjoy the burritos. We cook those down south all the time. Little chorizo in here, it makes it a little spicy. I'm doing brats on Wednesday. We got some great giveaways. Thursday I'm going to do a hard hat demonstration that when I was working down in Georgia, blew the guys away. They couldn't believe it that they weren't They should have won money because people just didn't believe that what happened happened. Anyway, I hope you all join me at lunchtime and see it for yourself. And have a great day. And if you get any questions, my door is always open. You know, you all know my number. Please reach out. Thanks very much.